Longhorn Nation, Sooner fans, welcome to episode 193 of the Bevo Podcast, the only podcast exclusively dedicated to covering the greatest rivalry in college football, the University of Texas and the University of Oklahoma. I'm here with my man, Kevin Miller. I am John Whitson. Kevin, the yips are defined as a sudden and unexplained loss of ability to execute certain skills in experienced performers such as athletes. Symptoms of the yips are losing fine motor skills and psychological issues that impact the muscle memory and decision making, leaving them unable to perform basic skills. The exact cause of the yips is still not fully understood. A yips episode may last a short time or may be a long-term issue. People have used sports psychology, motor imagery testing, pre-performance routines, medication, acupuncture, and a number of other techniques to overcome it. But nobody is quite able to define and counteract it. The question is, Kevin, after hearing that definition, does Arch have the yips?
Man, there's something going on. There is something up. I don't know exactly what it is, but John, it is getting very concerning. Very concerning.
Okay.
We had the Ohio State game.
Go ahead.
Right? He struggled on against Ohio State, but it's Ohio State, right? He's on the road, first career road start. You expect it to be a little bit bumpy. Could have been better, but he did make some throws in that game. So, he's settling in a little bit. But since then, it's somehow just gotten worse in these, what we like to call tune-up games against the likes of San Jose State and UTEP. I don't know what's going on, but I'm very concerned.
I asked you on Wednesday. I said, is Arch hurt? We joked about it. Sark gave a really weird answer when somebody asked him if he was hurt, about the grimacing and all this. I don't know about you, but when I watch Arch play, he's either hurt. Okay, there's three. Oh, you know what? Let me back up. There's three scenarios. He's either hurt. Okay. He either has the yips. And I know I just read that definition, but for other people out there that, maybe sometimes these athletes completely lose their minds and cannot complete what are simple tasks. He's either hurt, he has the yips, or I think the one that Texas fans fear the most is he's just not that good.
Yeah.
So which is it, Kevin? Those are your three choices. Or rank them. Rank the likelihood of them. This is your quarterback. This is your time. Let the crowd know. Let me know. Get it off your chest. Of those three, what's the most likely?
I think the most likely is that he's injured or he has the yips. I put those 1A, and then he's not that good. Maybe he's not that good. That's
you're saying he's not that bad.
He's not that bad. We've seen it. We've seen him against worse competition, or at least similar competition as he's played this year, look good. Good to very good. Listen to me. There is no way that he could be this bad. Missing wide open receivers. We're not talking about not being able to do spectacular things. We're talking about baseline level stuff as a quarterback. Hitting wide open guys in stride. Even on curl routes where guys are stopped and just standing there, he's missing them. We're not talking about, this is beyond he's not that good. This is baseline level stuff from any quarterback that he is not doing. It doesn't make sense.
We have a sample set from last year where he was the starting quarterback in an SEC football game against SEC athletes. It was Mississippi State. Everybody understands that. But he looked good.
Correct. Yes, he's hitting guys down the field, 50-yard passes in stride. He's hitting 30-yard deep over routes in stride.
Right? There were legit conversations after that Mississippi State game leading up to the OU game that said should Arch start. Those were legit.
Correct. Legit question marks, legit questions that people had, including Texas fans, not just the national media.
Okay. All right. So you want to eliminate that it's just, because Oklahoma fan, especially, right? Because we love to jump on these things, is he was playing 2A ball in Louisiana. He never went to any of the camps that everybody else went to, didn't have the same competition, was never vetted. This is simply a Manning getting preferential treatment, classic Texas, blah, 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 blah. So you're saying no to that. You're taking that off the table.
Yeah, I could agree with that if we had never seen him play at all at this level.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that, that wouldn't be a possibility. Now, like, say he had never played before. We had never seen him, or at least never played or started a game. If he had just come in and mop up duty when we're up by 40 and just kind of threw a few passes to the flat, did some handoffs, I could accept that maybe you're onto something. But the fact we've seen him play and seen him play well, that's the issue, that he's not even playing well.
Okay.
He's missing wide open receivers. He is hesitant. We had that one play yesterday, and we had a sprint out, and Parker Livingston is the first read, and he's wide open. And for whatever reason, there's no underneath coverage either. He doesn't throw it. He ends up stopping and rolling back to the right and then throwing up across his body into the end zone, and it gets intercepted on 4th down. Just mind-blowing stuff. I don't understand it.
Okay, so you don't understand it. So that leaves you with two options. Is he hurt or yips?
It seems like the yips, because the grimacing, that makes sense if he's hurt. But the hesitation to throw the football to wide open receivers, right? Sark scheming up guys on curl routes, little 5-yard hitches, they're wide open. Or on sprint outs, he's comfortable throwing outside of the pocket on the run. He's throwing at their feet. It doesn't make sense. And here's why I don't think he's hurt. Because we're having to call too many design runs. And Arch can run the football. We know that. But I think Sark
9 for 51. 9 for 51.
He looks good doing it. But I think Arch or Sark would like for Arch running the football to be a curveball. Right? He throws the football. We drop back. Everybody's covered. It's man coverage. Defense has it back to the field. He runs. Or the occasional, hey, I'm going to hand it off to the running back. Oh, actually, I'm going to keep it and run for a first down or a touchdown. I think that's what he intended. It's getting to the point where he's so bad throwing the football right now, we're having to call design runs. And for him to be taking the hits that he's taking leads me to believe that he can't be hurt.
Yeah, the other thing that leads me to believe it's the yips. Now, to what degree the yips are we at Chuck Knobloch level right now, or is this just a temporary kind of hitch in the momentum? But it's because it's happening on the short passes.
Yes.
So if you think about Chuck Knobloch, to me is the one that comes to mind. I believe he played for the Yankees, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
It was either the Yankees or the Red Sox. Who knows? I'm not a great baseball guy, but I remember this. He could not make the throw from second to first.
Yes.
The shortest throw on the field.
And all of a sudden, the most routine thing he does.
The most routine. This guy was, I don't know if he was an all-star, but the running joke on ESPN was anytime he made a play, it was made by fundamentally sound Chuck Knobloch. That's what Keith Olbermann, Dan Patrick, that was their line. And it went from that, making very routine plays at the highest level of the game, on the shortest throw on the field, to not being able to complete the ball from second base to first base. And that's kind of what you're seeing in these short routes that you're talking about, is just a hesitancy, flat out, I can't do this, to when he does it, it's awful.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, we got to talk about going forward real quick. Texas only won 27-10. The spread was 41.5. Arch went 11 of 25 for 114 yards. a touchdown and an interception throwing the ball. Those are Jackson Arnold-like numbers.
Correct.
I
It's
know
so
you've
bad.
got issue. I know you've got issues on the offensive line. Yada yada yada. But this is quarterback.
He's our
This is
biggest
quarterback.
issue right now. Yes.
Okay. So you've got who do you have next week?
We've got Sam Houston State, then a bye week, then we go to the Swamp.
Okay. If it doesn't improve against Sam Houston State, what are Texas's contingency plans at quarterback?
Okay, well, we brought in a guy, Matthew Caldwell, who was a starter. He was at Troy. He was their starting quarterback. He right now is our backup quarterback. We also have the freshman, very talented player in KJ Lacey. He's out of Alabama. He right now is considered the third string quarterback. He's very talented. He has not played in a game yet.
5-star. I'm guessing 5-star the whole deal.
Or he's either 5 or a very high 4-star.
Okay.
So highly recruited quarterback. That's who we have right now on the roster as far as who could play. The thing is, man, Sark is so stubborn when it comes to this, right? He was going to ride, like last year, he was going to ride with Quinn no matter what. We've seen it, right? I don't see him making a move unless, I don't know, man.
Unless Arch asked him to make a move?
I don't know if he would, I mean, yes, or unless it's just so bad that there's just...
Look, and we're going to
talk
talk
for his
about
own sake. Because sometimes you might have to pull him out for his own sake. And he got asked yesterday in the press conference. I think he kind of evaded the question. I need to go and watch the whole thing again. But, you know, he was asked, did you ever think about sitting Arch like he did Quinn against Georgia last year? Remember that? He
sure
pulled him out, put in Arch for a few plays, and then ended up going back to Quinn just to settle him in. And his excuse was, you know, Arch does other things, you know, with his legs that Quinn couldn't do, and you know, so he's still able to, you know, move the ball in certain situations. I don't know. The crazy thing is our defense is so good, and I believe our defense will be good against everybody. But as Oklahoma fans could tell you from just last year, having a good defense is not enough if you're completely incompetent on offense, right? So right now, you know, as Texas fans, the way things stand right now, and it could get better. It very well could. And I'm not out on Arch. I'm not selling my Arch stock at all. But the way it looks, based on what we've seen so far, I would not pick us.
But you're pricing that stock, right? You'd agree with that.
Yeah,
you might not even sell it, but you got an eye on this.
But I'm keeping an eye on it. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
But I'm not out. You know me, man. I sell slow.
Here's a problem offensively for you guys, though, right? Is Arch is the issue.
He's the main. There's other issues too, but he is the main issue.
But you only rushed your lead rusher only had 67 yards.
Yes.
3.9 yards a carry. I had total rushing pulled up here, but I lost it.
Well, okay, it was 227 yards, but that's not fooling anybody. That's not fooling me. You think, oh, you guys ran for 227 yards? That's great. No. On 55 attempts.
Yeah.
No, it's not good enough. And here's the thing, right? There's no complementary factors to this offense right now. When we had Quinn, his first year as a starter, and Quinn had his ups and downs, right? Surely, you remember the Oklahoma State game. But we had Bijan Robinson, we had Roschon Johnson behind him, and we had Jonathan Brooks behind him with 3 NFL running backs in the backfield. Yesterday, CJ Baxter, who I love, first carry, he gets hurt, and he's gone for the game. He ran 1 carry for 6 yards, limped to the sidelines, didn't come back. They believe it's a hamstring injury, not a knee, thankfully.
Yep.
But who knows? Trey Wisner has not played the last 2 weeks.
That's what I was going to ask. I guess we didn't talk about Wisner. We overlooked this game, right? Yes. We as podcasters said, this is, what are we talking about? We're not.
Yeah. All we were hoping to see is Texas look better offensively than they did the week before.
So, is Wisner seriously hurt?
I don't know. I don't think it's serious, but they
If you
felt like they could afford to hold him out. If
if
we
you
were
play
playing
Florida,
OU, he'd play. Yeah, if we were playing
okay,
Florida,
you're
he'd play.
saying
Yeah,
okay,
correct.
okay,
But we have him come out. We have him out. CJ Baxter gets hurt on the first play of the game, literally the first play of the game. So there's nobody to help, right? The quarterback struggling. Hey, we go lean on the running game. We can't lean on the running game. The receivers, again, I don't even know how good they are because we can't get them the ball.
yeah.
And when we do, Wingo's had a couple drops on the year. So he's pressing still. So, man, this offense, I'm telling you right now, I would not pick us to beat, based on what I've seen so far, I would not pick us to beat Florida. I absolutely would not pick us to beat Oklahoma and Georgia. I mean, come on, man. What are we even talking about? So
Well,
right
I mean,
now, if this offense doesn't improve, it's going to be a wasted season and a season where you waste what I truly feel. You know what I mean? I don't say things like about what I think the team can be unless I truly believe them. And I truly believe this is a championship level defense. And we are on the verge of completely wasting it.
the problem you have, in addition to Oklahoma having a legit pulse this year, like they haven't, and Florida is talented and it's on the road. We're going to talk Lagway. Florida's talented and it's on the road. Vandy's no joke.
No.
Arkansas can score. I don't know if they can
Arkansas,
stop
yes,
anybody, but they can
correct.
score. They scored 35 on Ole Miss. We'll see what that even means with Ole Miss defensively. And Mississippi State's not a joke. I think
Not at
Kentucky
all.
might. I think Kentucky
And,
might be
and,
a joke. But
and we got to
Mississippi,
play there. We got to play Mississippi State there in Starkville.
yeah, and they're riding some confidence. It the wheels could fall off quickly if you lose to Florida.
Yes. And with this
And
offense,
this version
look,
of Texas loses to Florida. I don't even care if Lagway throws
yes,
5 interceptions.
absolutely. Yes.
Unless y'all
Yes.
returned those 5 interceptions, right? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Correct. So
Wow.
it's got to improve, and we're running out of time. Like the schedule is literally set up for improvement, but it's not happening. This is 2 games where there's been no improvement. We've got one more game in a bye week to figure something out on that side of the ball, or it's all going to fall apart.
11 for 25 for 114 isn't just no improvement. It is regression.
It's regression, yes. The throws
Look,
he made in the Ohio State game in the fourth quarter, the touchdown to Livingston, the 4th down on the wheel route to Andrews where he dropped it in, I haven't seen anything to that level since.
yeah. Yeah,
And even after the first game, like we talked about, it's like, okay, well, it's Ohio State. There were some concerning things, but you can make the excuse for them. It's Ohio State. They're great defense. With the new coordinator, we weren't sure what they were going to run. So you can understand a quarterback being confused. Now he just looks, it's not even confused. He just looks hesitant. Like
but see,
he's never played the quarterback position before, and it's a complete 180 from what we saw in his 2 starts last year.
But this is where I disagreed with you following the Ohio State game. And you know this is, yeah, we didn't know what defensively they were going to do. And yeah, this and yeah, that. We know how good Ohio State is. But it was the easy throws.
Yeah.
It was the easy throws. And he just, look, dude, there's
What's up with the throwing motion? Like the sidearm motion. That was never a thing last year. Ever. The mechanics. That's why it leads me to believe that it's something up here.
Look,
it has to be.
I'm a golfer. My children are all golfers. Jeffrey played D2 golf. I love the game. I'm a historian of the game of golf. The yips are typically referred to in putting with golf. It's the yips, where Ben Hogan famously had the yips late in his career. Maybe the greatest golfer of all time outside of Tiger and Jack. Harry Vardon, the first superstar in golf back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, won 6 British Opens. Would freeze over a golf ball on the putting green, unable to pull it back. Frightening stuff, right? If you're a golfer. The other thing is the shanks. Again, it's it's these routine things that you're just used to doing, and then it just comes out of nowhere. And dude, if you're in it, you're in it. And it's gonna be fascinating to watch this, because if it's really what we're talking about, it doesn't just get better, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So, all right. We'll come back. There's more to talk about with Arch. University of Oklahoma goes to Lincoln Financial. 42-3. The score and how it looked felt really good. John Mateer looked really good, especially in the first half when Ben Arbuckle was in his bag. John Mateer was in his bag. Mateer finished 20 of 34 for 282, a touchdown and interception. He did have a 51-yard rush to make up for 7 for 63 and a touchdown. Torrey Blaylock, 14 carries for 100 yards. He's clearly RB1. Javonte Barnes got the start, but I don't know, unless Torrey Blaylock simply can't pass block,
You used to start Kewan Jones over Adrian Peterson. It's fine.
Yeah, and it's fine. It's all good. We kind of got a little static in the end of the second quarter, beginning of the third quarter, but you don't know what
performance was better than those numbers indicate. He looked better.
Yeah.
If you just read those numbers, you'd be like, no, he
and so many of them were like on third downs when the play had to be made.
Correct.
And he was, it wasn't a bunch of just check down. He wasn't check down Charlie, in other words. He was forcing the ball down the field, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 9. Canick came up big again, 4 for 86. Satania had a great game, 7 for 97.
Real quick, I mean, this dude is becoming a revelation. I literally
he's
can't
fantastic.
believe it. I can't believe it. Just because it's so hard to just switch positions and then be effective.
Oh, you're talking Canick. I'm talking Satania.
No, I'm talking about Canick.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Well, at least we've seen Satania do some things and I picked him to be your number 1 receiver this year as far as reception. We'll see if that even happens. But
I haven't
Canick, I'm about Canick.
Have you seen anybody in the SEC that is head and shoulders above Canick and tight end right now? No. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody. I'm sure he doesn't start on every SEC team. But I'm just saying, in terms of there is very little difference right now between him and every other starting tight end in the SEC.
Correct.
He's fast. He's strong. He's got great hands. He's got great vision.
That's what shocks me, is the reliable hands from a guy who hasn't played offense.
And they're not just reliable, Kevin. They're exceptional. He is making great catches.
Correct. And with contact and everything.
Let's talk.
It's crazy.
Look, I can and the defense played great. I think they only gave up 3 first down conversions or something, whatever. The only score was on a pop-up interception. Keontez Lewis over the middle. I didn't see the play because I was listening to the radio call. I was driving. Did you see the play? Was it targeting?
You know what? They could have. I think they didn't call it because it looked more like a collision. Like both players were playing for the football and their helmets collided.
Not like there was a target.
Correct. Okay. He wasn't trying to hit him. I think he was legitimately.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. But concerning because clearly he went into concussion protocol.
Yes.
Now he was walking around and all that stuff, so it doesn't look like it was real bad. But we know how these concussions are. We've got Auburn coming up, so that's concerning about Keontez. But outside of that, pretty healthy. Gabe, on the radio call, he's hypersensitive to the offensive line. He thought we left our center in a couple snaps too long. He got rolled up on. Something to keep an eye on. Starting center. So we'll continue to watch that. The big issue coming out of this game are Mason Thomas, losing him for the first half against Auburn. That is awful news.
It is.
I listened to the radio broadcast. They didn't think it was going to be a targeting call, and then it was. Then they didn't think he was good. They didn't think he was going to get thrown out, and then he was. I have yet to see it. Just for the record, I have come straight from the road onto the podcast because I want to talk about everything that's going on. So, Kevin, can you tell us what you saw with the targeting? you're
The
probably the
helmets,
most, you're a whatever the right word, neutral bystander. So tell us what
the,
you saw.
the helmets collided. It wasn't a lot of force there, though. He was running. It was helmet to helmet contact, but I don't think it was targeting necessarily. Okay, by the definition of the rule, I guess it is, but I didn't see a lot of intent there. I didn't see him lower the crown. He rushed. Their helmets collided.
Is there
If they would
is
have
there
said no targeting, I wouldn't have been upset.
is there any chance of an appeal from what you
I don't
saw?
know, man. First of all, I'm not sure how the appeals process works. Is it through the conference? Is it a national committee? We saw the Michigan kid in their first game against New Mexico had it's kind of a similar deal to that. His was a little bit more forceful though than I thought R. Mason Thomas's was, and they upheld his ejection and suspension for the first half of the game against Oklahoma. So I don't know. I don't know the appeals process well enough to know if they'll overturn it. I would prep to not have R. Mason Thomas in the first half against Auburn.
The positives, Marvin Jones Jr. is playing great. I think he has been more impressive than I anticipated him being.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's lived up to, 5-star, blah, 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 but he is a very solid end. He seems to be making really good plays. I don't notice a lot of busts with him. He feels like an experienced defensive end that you can count on, right? So that's positive. On the other side, though, is where it starts to get Taylor Wine. He's flashes. PJ still not giving us exactly what we need from PJ. So it's going to be interesting to see what we do on the other side. Am I missing a D end?
I mean, I think those are your main guys, right? I mean, yeah.
You almost wonder if they could drop Kendall Daniels down into that D end since
I don't
Kendall
know. Do you
Goldie's
want him
back.
taking on? I don't know if he's big enough to be taking on tackles.
Is R.
And he'll
Mason
get
Thomas?
swapped.
Is R. Mason
I
Thomas that
mean,
much bigger than him?
249 for R. Mason Thomas. I think they're built differently. He's kind of a longer, leaner. Kendall Daniels is. I think he'd struggle taking on tackles. I mean, even R. Mason Thomas can get swallowed up in the run
Yeah,
game by the bigger guys. So
they've got him at 20. Wikipedia I just did a quick search. Has him at 205.
okay,
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'm
You're
on the
probably right.
ESPN deal.
He just looks
Yeah,
like a big
so
dude. He looks like
well,
a
I
big
mean,
dude.
I don't
Though.
know. He's listed at 242
Who is?
on Kendall Daniels is on ESPN's deal. So
I literally just had Wikipedia pulled up at 205.
really,
That's
but
a pretty
I mean, that
big.
might have. That sounds like his rate as a recruit. Honestly, coming out of was he out of Beggs,
Let me see
Oklahoma?
what OU. Let me see what OU has him listed at.
I've got it pulled
Now,
up here.
they
Yeah,
say
6'5",
242.
242. Yeah,
Put him on the end, man.
But still, I don't know, man.
Well,
Unless you start
I
getting, pushed around. We'll see what Auburn's game plan. What do you think early? I mean, obviously we're gonna have a whole preview on our next episode, but just early thoughts on that game.
I think they're going to try to run Jackson Arnold to set up the pass.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try to get him out in space, encourage him to run so that we start to load the box up. And then they're going to try to hit us over their top with their talented receivers. That's my guess. I'm just not sure Arnold's got the talent to do that against this offense. They played South Alabama. We just talked about this before the show. That they're okay. What'd you say they lost to Tulane? Is
Yeah,
their other
lost a
loss?
close game to Tulane.
So,
I don't know, man.
whatever, but it was
I
still
wasn't
31,
impressed.
still 31-15. It's just
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, they ran it okay, 195 yards rushing. Jeremiah Cobb, 19 for 119. Arnold, 10 for 50 with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But I would expect you guys just to have a spy on him. Kip Lewis would be a good spy for him. Even McKenzie. Lewis is just really fast. So is Omasigo. He's a little bit more speed.
Omasigo had a good game. Oh, but really everybody on the defensive side had a good. Here's the interesting thing. Here's what's frustrating about the defense right now. Is as good as we've played, and I think we've played really, really well. I don't know if we've been Texas good. Because because you guys are playing really good too. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
It's still
It's
early,
just,
but yeah.
how many turnovers have y'all had?
I don't know, man. We had. I know we intercepted Nelson twice yesterday.
Dude, we haven't had a turnover yet.
The whole season.
We haven't had a fumble. We haven't had
Okay.
an interception. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah.
And so that's concerning.
Yeah, we
But
picked off
not
Nelson. We have 4 against San Jose State, but none against Ohio State. And I was not griping about it, not upset, but it would have been nice to have forced a turnover against their young quarterback in
your
that
defense
game.
held them to 14 points.
I know. I'm just saying with the way the offense. I'm not complaining. Trust me.
So anyway, back to that. Our defense has been really solid. I guess we can spy them if you. I don't know if we
I just
have
think
to.
I think, and again, you can only account so many guys to so much, but it's a big part of their offense. And by you spying, you can just completely shut it down.
Yeah,
You just completely shut it down and force them to know you're either going to hand the ball off or you're going to throw it to one of your receivers. But this thing you love doing and running the football, not happening today. I
yeah.
think that would be my game plan if I'm in DC. Obviously, Brent Venables knows what he's doing.
And I think we're good enough to execute that. So
Yeah. Now
it's
you will be tested in coverage this week. This is the first week that this is the first team that you played all year that has guys that will challenge you in coverage. Michigan, not that team. These guys, Eric Singleton, he's a transfer from Georgia Tech. The dude's blur. Kind of like Deion Burks. Same kind of build too. I think he's been used as a number 1 receiver a little bit more than Burks has, but similar type. And then you got Cam Coleman, 5-star guy. Incredibly talented player.
Well,
So you'll have to cover this week.
We did get Jacoby Johnson back. Still no word on Eli Bowen. Not saying that they're taking Cortland Gilroy or Gentry Williams' spot anytime soon.
Correct.
But
you
we did
like
see
to have depth.
We have, so at least with Jacoby back, we've got some experience depth. I feel pretty good about where we're at. We'll get to Auburn. There's a lot to talk about with Auburn, and that's coming up. But as far as this game goes, really solid. You want to compare it to last year. Temple was, I don't know, they weren't cocky, but their coach was like.
It was interesting, right? Like, hey, and man, I think they looked absolutely shocked with how fast y'all were.
Yeah.
They just,
did you hear what the Temple coach
contain?
Did you hear what they described it? Described the OU defense?
Before the game or after?
After.
No, what did he say?
They were violent savages.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think they, on either side of the ball, I don't think they expected you guys to be as fast as you were. They couldn't have, you guys are getting to the edge.
Torrey Blaylock around the edge was so
good. They could not contain Mateer when he's running the football. 7 for 63. I know he has a 51-yard run, but still. Yeah, they looked less athletic against you guys than Illinois State did.
Okay, we've got to talk before we move over to the national picture. Last thought on the OU game for me. If you got anything else, you can bring it up. But Jaden Ott, is this still one of the weirdest things you've ever seen?
It is very, very odd. Now he did play
in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's back there.
The fourth quarter of the Temple game when we're up 35 or 42 to whatever to 3.
So right now, you would say he's behind Blaylock, Barnes,
and Xavier
Robinson. So right now, he's looking like your number 4 running back. This guy's making some pretty good money, right? Like, I'm not here counting people's money, but
I'm counting his money. What are you talking about?
What is this?
He's a professional athlete. I'm counting every dime.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm not. If I was an OU fan, maybe I would be.
How many carries does he have? You have that in front of you?
I don't have. Well, I can find out. Give me 1 second.
I'd love to know what his dollars per carry is.
Here's his stats for the season: 9 carries for 17 yards.
I mean, what are we talking about?
Is he hurt? Is he?
No, you're not. You're
I know.
not playing a guy in the
That's
fourth
hurt.
quarter
Yeah.
against Illinois State and Temple if he's hurt.
Is he not as good as you thought? Is he good at all? Because remember, right? This is a guy who had a great freshman year, 897 yards, 5.3 yards a pop. Sophomore year, 1,305 yards, 5.3 yards a pop. Last year, he's injured at Cal, only 385 yards rushing, 3.3 yards a carry. And then this year, I don't know.
I think we're looking, much like with Arch, I don't think we can call it the yips because it's just running the football, and that's rarely been a diagnosis.
Yeah, you
I
wouldn't
think
think
we're
so.
looking at a reality that he either hasn't recovered from his injury or just isn't. I mean, he's just getting beat out.
Is he a bad, like, I'm not trying to say it, but is he not a great guy in the locker room? Is it,
It's funny because I was texting my friends back and forth after the game, and one of them talked about how much Ott was making, and I joked about it and said, "Well, maybe he's a really good guy in the locker room."
Yeah.
Being funny.
Hmm.
There's nothing funny about it. He's probably, what do you figure, 800 grand?
Yeah, I would say that sounds about right.
A 1 year rental for $800,000, and through a quarter of the season. This is what's so crazy about how fast college football goes. The quarter of the season is over. 25% of the games are over.
That's really sad.
Oh, it's
That's
awful.
really
It's
sad.
awful. And Jay Knott has, you said, 9 carries, and was available for all 3 games.
Yes.
And 2 of the games, one's an FCS team, one was Temple. I am shocked he started against Michigan at this point. Like, I think maybe they were trying to give him a shot. I don't even know. It is befuddling.
I
It's
mean, the
not
Michigan game, yeah,
he
4
started.
carries, 9 yards. 4 carries.
Yeah, I think Blaylock had 50 on 6 carries or something like that. And here's what's interesting though, is it's not concerning because Blaylock is turning into a stud.
Correct.
But
But it's just, it's
you would
confusing.
it's confusing, and you sure would like the luxury of having more backs.
I mean, you guys were, I don't want to say as excited about him as Mateer, but with the running back issues you had last year, you guys were really, really pumped up about this guy. And I understand why. I would have been too if I were you.
If he had Corey Blaylock's numbers right now, we would be fired up for
Yes.
John Mateer and Jay Knott.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
But instead, Corey Blaylock has filled that space.
Yes.
And I appreciate DeMarco Murray going with the hot hand here. Like,
Not forcing it.
let's not overthink this. Torrey Blaylock's the man. And
He's
earned it.
He's been the best back you have.
Well, he's earned it on the field. He's earned it on the field.
Right. Yeah, he's been the best back you've had by a mile.
Kevin, let's take a look at the week that was. First of all, I was in a hotel room last night in Lawrence, Kansas. The Jayhawks were not in town, so the hotel was pretty cheap, but a lot of football. Real quick, it is difficult to manage a hotel television, right? Where you don't have YouTube TV and the multi-view and all your stations. So that was kind of a pain in the butt. I ended up opening up my laptop and watching games on the laptop and the TV because at one point in the evening, there was like 5 or 6 ranked matchups, legitimate games happening. It was a heck of a Saturday.
It was, man. I mean, there were so many good games on, big name teams playing against each other. It was one of those classic Saturdays, man. That's why we love this sport so much.
I'm not even sure where to start. Let's start with the marquee SEC game. Georgia, Tennessee. Georgia in overtime, 44-41. Gunnar Stockton went 23 of 31 for 304 yards, 9.8 yards per attempt, and 2 touchdowns. Joey Aguilar for Tennessee was no slouch, 24 of 36, 371 yards, and 4 touchdowns against the Georgia defense. It was a classic Big 12 shootout in the SEC. Tell us how Tennessee lost this game.
Man, it's tough, right? Because it was an 8-game losing streak they had to Georgia. And I think we all knew if they were going to end this streak, this was a great year to do it. And man, they came out with their hair on fire. I mean, they go straight down the field on their first drive, just hitting all sorts of routes. They're getting open, and Joey Aguilar is hitting them in stride, right down for 7. And again, man, Georgia, they're such a hard team to bury. They are just almost impossible to kill. Texas had them on the ropes in the SEC championship game last year, couldn't put them away. And this was the same thing today. They come back on their first drive. The first play of the game, deep shot from Gunnar Stockton for a 40-yard gain. And they go right down the field and they match Tennessee's touchdown with a touchdown of their own. And they just go back and forth. And I think with them, they trust that you'll make a big mistake before they do. Right? If you look at them, Stockton, 23 of 31, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, no INTs. Aguilar had 2. He was outstanding. But you compare those 2 interceptions compared to none for Georgia, they just make the plays down the stretch to get the job done, man, to force overtime. Great 4th down play from Gunnar Stockton to London Humphreys. Tennessee, I mean, what a great play that was, right? You want to talk about that?
Real quick. That throw, the throw and the catch, the throw, the route, the catch, the call on 4th down.
Yeah.
It's not often that you see a Georgia quarterback go win the game. They oftentimes don't lose a game, but they're rarely just given the keys and say, go win it.
Go win it.
And he went and won that. He went and won that with that throw.
Despite that, Tennessee had a chance to win the game. And I thought Heupel mismanaged it a little bit down the stretch. They had the ball. They got close. They're already in field goal range. At this point, the game is tied. And they're about to bring out their kicker. They call timeout. There's 6 seconds left. And I think they're about to kick the field goal now. Well, then they trot the offense back onto the field. And, I'm watching this with my wife, and they bring out the offense. I'm like, oh, I'm surprised they're doing this and even trying to take a snap here, just because if you take a snap, something can go wrong. And sure enough, they commit a false start, pushes the kicker back 5 yards. They bring him out. He misses the field goal badly, wide right. They end up going to overtime. It never hit the net, man. If they have a net back there, it would not have hit the net. It wasn't close at all.
It never had a chance, but the penalty got into his head. It did.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it just did. That's why just kick it. You're already there. You're in a good spot. Just kick the field goal then. Then they go, to overtime. They get the ball first. They can't score a touchdown. They end up going with the field goal, which the kicker makes this one. And they come out, and in true Georgia fashion, they just run it and score. They got this giant running back, Josh McCray, they bring in, 240 pounds, and guy looks like a middle linebacker, and he gets a touchdown and breaking volunteer hearts yet again.
He looked like Toombs from A&M back in the day.
Oh, man, that dude. Remember that run he had against you guys on 4th down?
I'll never forget it.
A national championship defense.
The dude was a beast, and that's what this guy reminded me. Like when I saw him out there, I'm like, that's Jamar, right? Jamar
Toombs, yeah.
It was like, that's Jamar Toombs out there. My daughter's like, who's Jamar Toombs? I don't even want to talk.
You did win that game, by the way. Torrance Marshall, pick 6.
For the record, it cost you a pick that they kept it so close. I got the win because I had Tennessee to win.
Yeah.
But they at least covered.
They did, yeah. Now, here's the thing, though. I really like Tennessee. I think they still can have a great
recover.
season.
They can recover from Georgia. They can recover from a loss from Georgia.
They can recover from this and still have a great season. And hey, while we're at it, we talked about this a little bit last week. With them losing Nico, has not hurt them in the least. Joey Aguilar is better than Nico Iamaleava ever was.
Nico went 22 for 34, 217 yards, a touchdown and an interception, and had a quarterback rating of 26.9. I would say Tennessee won the trade.
And we talked. I was on the forums. I figured you weren't watching this game on a late on a Friday night. UCLA, New Mexico. I was literally watching it, and the whole thing is a mess. Deshaun Foster, again, respect to him, was a great player, great running back for UCLA. But they're asking him to be a head coach. He was just a running back.
They fired him today.
They did, and they had to. It was so incompetent. Watching them play, it looked worse than anything I saw. I think I made the comment on one of the Texas forums that he made Charlie Strong at Texas look like Bear Bryant.
Ooh.
He was so bad. I kid you not. Watching this team play, I mean, it's just false start after false start. Just penalties all over the place. No one knows what they're doing. That's what I'm seeing. Not just bad play, but just no one knows what they're supposed to be doing. And just like, this is not good. And they realized it and they fired him. But yeah, so he is in a very, very bad spot.
Is he the person responsible for Nico coming to UCLA?
I mean, he's the head coach. I'm sure he's a part of it, part of the recruitment process, and him. And
it's just hard. It's hard to know now. It's hard to know now. But my point is, they could fire him and whoever was decided to pay him Nico some money. That dude needs to go too. They screwed. They screwed.
I get why you bring him in, but here's the thing: they didn't pay him what he was asking. I don't think he even got paid what he was making at Tennessee.
No, he lost money on. He lost money on it.
Yeah, so I get it. This is a 5-star guy who is from the area. I understand the decision to bring him in. It's just all bad. It's all bad. And remember, I was on the record as saying that I thought it was bad for Tennessee too, just because he's a talented quarterback who I thought will continue to improve. But no, this Joey Aguilar kid has been really, really good. Really, really good for him. I thought he played really well as you can hope to play. If you 24 for 36 for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns against Georgia.
That's the key. Against Georgia.
Against a Kirby Smart defense. He was confident. So I like the kid. And yeah, shout out to Tennessee. I think they're going to have a really good season.
All right. Speaking of quarterbacks, LSU beats Florida 20-10. Garrett Nussmeier, ho-hum day, 15-27 for 220 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Caden Durham, 15 of 93, 6.2 yards per carry. So the story here, and I got to call each other out. I'm calling us out as a podcast here, Kevin. We have been on DJ Lagway's jockstrap for about 2 years. Athleticism, potential, excitability, all the things that we think makes a good quarterback. Bro, you can't throw 5 interceptions in a 20-10 loss.
Yeah.
Like you gave LSU 5 more chances and they beat you by 2 scores.
Yeah, that's the bad part, is they were in the game. It's not like, they're getting blown out. He's just throwing it up, trying to see what we can do. No, they're in the game the entire time.
That Harold Perkins interception was so bad.
It was.
And Harold Perkins looks like that dude again, and that's
which I'm very happy to see, by the way.
I'm not happy to see it. Because you don't have to play him. That's why you're happy. You think it's great.
I support the players, man. I know you.
No, I know you do, and he does. He looks good again. But we can't. I don't know if we can support DJ anymore. I don't know if we can come on here and say
I'm not out. I'm not out. Are you out? If you're out, tell me you're out, and it's fine. You can be out. I just need to know where you stand. Look, it's not like okay, you guys were out. You were out on Jackson Arnold after the Tennessee game. Like you had seen it.
No, I was out after the Houston. No, I was out after the Houston game.
You were out after the Houston game.
Do I need to go replay episode whatever after the Houston game? It was a disaster.
I just don't remember you being out. You were concerned.
Out. Yeah, maybe not. Definitely after the Tennessee game.
But you were out of the Tennessee game.
That was 4 games in. Games in.
Correct.
He did actually have a semi whatever Tulane game, I guess.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. But yeah, it's
who does Florida play? Who does Florida play next?
Oh, man. The Miami Hurricanes is who they play next. On the road, too. That's why that South Florida game was such a disaster. They went to LSU, now who's ranked number 3. Now they play the number 4 ranked Hurricanes. Again, on the road. Oh, then they play Texas.
And then they play y'all October 4th.
Yes, and then they play Texas A&M after that, and then Mississippi State, who is competent. Then Georgia, at Kentucky, at Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Florida State. That's the hardest schedule in the country. All due respect to y'all's schedule. I'm
out.
Yeah,
I'm out. With that schedule, I just look. LSU's fine. They're good. They might be the best team in the SEC. I don't know. They only beat Florida. They only beat Florida 20-10, and Florida gave them 5 interceptions. So I don't know how good LSU is.
Yes.
And now we've seen how bad Clemson is. We'll talk about Clemson. We've seen how bad Clemson is. So we're not sure how good that win was, right? But Lagway having to go against those other teams, it might be a bridge too far for me. It might be a bridge too far.
No dominant team in this country right now, as far as I'm concerned. But everybody has a chance.
You're questioning LSU a little bit, though, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
That offense, yeah. I mean, again, you can't get 5 extra possessions off turnovers and still score 20 points. Florida's got to stick with the run a little bit more. You can't. I don't want Lagway throwing 49 attempts in a close game.
Well, not when 1 out of every 10 attempts is going to be an interception.
Yes. Either way, 4 down is too much.
We didn't actually pick that game, but we did pick the Miami-South Florida game. You gave up on South Florida, and you were right. Miami covers 49-12. It was just too much for South Florida to go 3 weeks in a row. Carson Beck looked good. It was too much.
You can't sneak up on when you beat Boise and then you beat Florida. You can't sneak up on Miami. Miami says, "Oh, they had their attention. They had their full attention." You can see that Miami respected them, and they got smacked around because of it.
They got smacked.
Hey, Miami could do it, and they ran it yesterday.
Miami
looks really good, man. They look really legit.
They do look good. It'll be interesting as the season progresses, but they're definitely the cream of the ACC right now. That's not in debate.
And A&M, Miami, real quick before you move on, the schedule sets up well for them too. Right now, the next 2 they got Florida. They play at Florida State, which is setting up to be a pretty big game.
Yes,
pretty big game, right?
What weekend is that?
Stanford. It might be the same as a Red River.
Is that OU Texas weekend?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, it's not. No, it's not actually. It's actually October 4th.
Okay, perfect. That's great. That's even better.
Yeah. So it sets up for Louisville, Stanford, at SMU, Syracuse, North Carolina State, at Virginia Tech, at Pitt. No Clemson for them, at least in the regular season.
I'm not sure Clemson makes it to the. I'm not sure Clemson makes it to the ACC title.
That's true.
Right now.
No Georgia Tech either.
Well, see, that might be more. Yeah. That might be a bigger miss than the.
Yeah.
No, Carson Beck looked good. 23-28, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns. Okay, A&M Notre Dame. They finally gave it to Jeremiah Love. 23 carries, 94 yards, a touchdown. Carr didn't look bad. 20 of 32 for 293 yards and a touchdown. But the game for Notre Dame, they lose 41-40, never looked right to me. It was just subtle mistake after mistake after mistake that just allowed A&M, and A&M capitalized. To A&M's credit, capitalized on every mistake and took advantage of every gift. But dude, if I'm Notre Dame and I'm 0-2 right now, I am shaking my head. I still think they're really good,
Me
but
too.
it just felt weird, right?
Yeah, they never, and it's like as soon as they would do something to take the lead, and they would kind of make a boneheaded play on special teams or something. A&M though, talk about them real quick. They have an offense now that, or at least that involves a passing game. Right now, Marcel Reed, the completion percentage was not good. 17 of 37, but 360 yards, 2 touchdowns. We talked about their use of the transfer portal. We talked about it a couple times this season. They brought in 2 guys. KJ Concepcion from North Carolina State, 4 for 82 last night. Mario Craver, 7 receptions, 207 yards, and a touchdown, including an 86-yarder. They've transformed their offense now. They are a legit threat in the passing game, which they haven't been in several years, in my opinion.
Um, Anecdotally, or should I say the eye test, Marcel Reed had a couple throws that were just fantastic.
Correct.
Like, oh, just looked like that dude. I'm having a hard time getting over in the SEC when they get deep into SEC play, being less than 50% completion percentage and being successful.
Yeah, they'll have to get better. He'll have to
That
get
that
better there for
that's a
sure.
little that's a little
Yes,
concerning.
not sustainable for if they have, if they have true playoff aspirations. He'll have to play better than that as far
Did
as
you
his
see
completion
the
percentage.
Okay, so we know Notre Dame scores a touchdown to go ahead and then fumbles the snap on the point after and misses it, allowing A&M to come down, score a touchdown. All they have to do is kick the point after. That's what happened. So again, just another dumb play by Notre Dame. But did you see what happened right before halftime? Right, like after the injury and right before halftime when Notre Dame was trying to kind of maybe put some points on the board. Did you see
Like,
that?
you're talking about the injury, the long injury break when Bryce Anderson got stretchered off the field, right?
And I don't have an update on him. Do you? I don't
No, I
know.
don't. No, I don't. But
Yeah,
hoping for the best for him.
that was an awful injury. And you know what, dude? I couldn't turn away from it. I wanted to know what happened to that kid.
Man,
I never turned
and
away.
it's the same thing happened in the Ole Miss game. Former OU corner Kanai Walker got stretchered off.
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
crazy. So anyway, that injury happens. They get back going. Notre Dame's kind of moving. You're thinking, well, maybe they'll get in field goal range. And I think they took a sack or something. And then it was fourth down. And they're lining up like maybe they're going to snap it. Maybe they're going to throw it in the end zone. Maybe they're going to do something. Well, the quarterback, Carr, just walks off like, I'm done with this play. This isn't nothing. And then he claps his hands in disgust, and the center snaps the ball.
oh yeah, I did see that. That was
It was
bad.
so
That
dumb.
was so bad. Yeah,
And that's kind of what I'm talking about. It was just like, it was dumb stuff, which you don't really see from Marcus Freeman. And
correct.
he's got to be going nuts.
Correct. Yeah. And, the defense wasn't great. Them allowing that kind of success in the passing game, that was very concerning for him. And it's his defense, right? I know he may not be calling the defense because he's a head coach, but it's his defense. So they've got to figure some things out and quickly because, like you said, they are a good football team. We know that. But you 0-2 is 0-2. And now you've got a favorable matchup, right? You play Purdue. They go to Arkansas, which is odd. Very odd. Boise, NC State, USC, who looks, it's still early, right? But they don't look horrible.
Yeah.
BC, Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, and Stanford. So they really got to get rolling here and go on a run because
I
2 losses already, it's concerning for them.
I mean, I don't think they're knocked out, but I don't think they're
No.
I don't think even if they go 10-2 though, they're a shoe in just because of they won't have a conference championship game and
Yeah.
an extra data point and the 2 losses they had, yada yada, against ranked teams. Even that being said, I would be nervous about Boise State, and I'd be nervous about Arkansas on the road.
Yeah, going on the road. I mean, these SEC environments are insane, right? Even
Yeah.
Arkansas is going to bring it to them. So, they play they get USC at home, and that's it. I mean, Pitt. I mean, but the margin for error is gone.
Okay. A couple more games to hit on. Ole Miss beats Arkansas in a shootout, 41-35. Their backup quarterback, Shambliss, that's the kid I was talking about. Not only can he run, apparently he can pass too. 21 of 29 for 353 yards. He then got hurt, and Austin Simmons came in hurt, threw a touchdown. It was very odd. They still able to beat Arkansas, but they've got questions at quarterback. But they do have two dandies between Simmons and
Yeah, so
Shambles.
it's a different type of question. It's
It's a
not like
different
usually
type.
your question, do we have a guy? But yeah, the offense looked really good. So I don't know, is this create a controversy for them? Or
I
do
don't
they
know.
just go
Shambles
back to
looked.
Simmons?
I'm not 100% sure. Shambles looked pretty good. Um,
Correct.
and then also in the SEC, Vandy with the big win over South Carolina. Lenora Sellers gets hurt in the second quarter. It's a
Yeah, it's
close
a
game up
helmet to
until that.
helmet hit. They sent a blitz and it was a helmet to helmet deal. The guy who hit him got ejected from targeting. But yeah,
Um, I guess my question is this. I understand that they're going to struggle to score points without Lenora Sellers. However, 31 at home to Vandy seems like a lot for a defense to give up. Concerning about South Carolina's defense, or is just this a situation the game was?
I mean, no, I would be concerned. You don't want to give up 31 points, especially with some of the guys that they have. They have talent out there on defense, right? I mean, they do.
I mean,
They've gotten guys. So yeah,
like
I
if
mean,
like if
and it
they'd have
was good.
lost if they'd have lost 21-7, you'd be like, okay, defense did everything they could, but you don't have a quarterback, you're gonna lose 21-7. Something about 31-7, giving up points in the 30s at home to Vanderbilt. I know they're better, and maybe they'll sneak up and surprise a lot of teams. Vandy, anything's possible with Pavia. It doesn't feel good for South Carolina to give up that many
No,
points.
and they didn't run it well. I mean, 86 yards rushing. You hope to be able to lean on the running game when Lenora Sellers gets injured. He was 6 of 7 for 94 yards before he got hurt, but he did have a red zone pick when this game was tied at 7. It was this game was always going to be a dogfight, right? A lot of people had picked Vanderbilt for the upset here, but yeah, I mean, when he went down, it just seems like all hope was lost for them on both sides of the football.
Yeah.
It's just you're South Carolina, and if you are wanting to be a playoff team, that was one you needed because it doesn't get any easier for them. They go to
No.
Missouri. They've got to go to LSU in a couple weeks. They play you guys at home. They play Alabama at home. They go to Ole Miss and A&M before finishing at Clemson. So, you lose these games you shouldn't. It just makes all the harder games more important. Your margin for error is gone.
Yep. I'm sorry. Bama handles Wisconsin 38-14. Simpson had a good day.
He had a great
Last
game.
game.
Brian Williams, welcome back, by the way.
Well, he had struggled, man. He had struggled,
Yeah,
and
he's
so
been
this
injured.
was.
He didn't play last week. He was hurt. And yeah, he's back though. He looked like himself. And it
You know
was
who he
nice
looked
to
like?
see.
You know who he looked like to me on that ball he caught on the sideline and then cut back inside? He looked like Mark Clayton to me back in the
Okay.
day.
I can see that.
In terms of like
I hate that guy.
agility and ability to change directions, I think Mark Clayton might be the best receiver to ever play at OU in terms of catching, planting a foot, heading the
Yeah,
other
just make a
way,
move. Yeah.
and just really freezing a defense. Mark Clayton was so good. And then he did it for Baltimore in the league for as long as he did. He was really, really good. And that's what that play reminded me of, which is good company for
Yeah, I
Ryan
can't
Burns.
stand that guy. Just destroyed, especially in that 03 game. My God.
Oh, he was so good. He was a great player.
He was. Ryan Williams, 5 catches, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
He needed it. He needed a get right game, and that was a get right
Yeah.
game for him. And then lastly, we're going to end on this: Georgia Tech and Clemson. Look, man, Clemson's 1-2. Now, Clemson could go and win whatever 9 straight games and finish 10-2. That would be a very Clemson-like thing to do.
That is a realistic deal.
But Klubnik goes 15 of 26 for 207 yards, a touchdown and an interception. It's just not very good.
No, it's not good enough. It simply isn't good enough. Listen, you lose at LSU. Okay. Okay. But you're down 16-3 in the second half against Troy. You lose this game to Georgia Tech. They've got a lot of talent on that Clemson team, but for whatever reason, it just doesn't appear to be clicking so far. And again, the schedule, it's rough, man. They still have to play Florida State. They still play Louisville. They still play at South Carolina. So, again, I've used this word so many times, this phrase, but the margin for error is gone, man. You've got
do they miss out?
Schedule.
They miss out on SMU.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, they have SMU as well.
Oh, they do.
They host SMU, thankfully for them. And they also host Florida State, and they go to South Carolina. And then we got Louisville in there. You know, that's always tricky too.
Look, I'm not going to give up on Clemson like I am Lagway, just because we've seen, Dabo pull some magic when it comes to this. But
yeah, two-time national champion. They made the playoff. They started rough last year and still made the playoff.
But they got a foot in the grave, okay? Because it just doesn't. Klubnik, and then on the flip side, who's Georgia Tech's coach? Did you ever look up who the coach is?
Yeah, Brent Key is his name.
I love that guy, dude. I love what he's about.
Coach.
And then Haynes King, the quarterback for them,
man.
just a football player, man.
He really is, man. He's Longview, Texas. Started off at A&M, didn't work out it was Jimbo who was the coach, and now he's at Georgia Tech. He's so tough, man. Dude just takes a lot of punishment. He delivers a lot of punishment, though. So yeah, you just gotta love that dude.
I might start maybe being a Yellow Jackets fan, man. He's a lot of fun to watch. So it's that's where we're at. Okay, as far as our
that's the thing. When you're a Georgia Tech fan, you can be you're not gonna offend anybody. Even Georgia fan doesn't care.
No. I think the only game I've ever watched from beginning to end I take that back. I watched most of that Georgia game last year. I was gonna make a joke. Was the game they played, the Rudy game they played at the end of Rudy against Notre Dame. That was against Georgia Tech.
Well, I will say when they had Calvin Johnson, I had to watch just because he was so good, man.
Yeah, he was.
We're talking about. He's a Pro Football Hall of Famer.
He might be the most He could be the most underrated receiver in NFL history.
Dude, when he was at Georgia Tech, though, man, I've just never seen anything like that. Obviously Randy Moss, but Randy Moss didn't play against the level of competition that he was at Marshall.
Yeah.
Now, if he'd ended up at Notre Dame, I don't even know what that would have looked like, Randy Moss. But watching Calvin Johnson at Georgia, and then catching passes from Reggie Ball, who was not a great quarterback, but I remember Herbstreit used to say, I would literally throw him the football every play. Every play, yeah.
No,
he would have had 20.
Yeah.
If I was a coach or the coordinator, he'd have had 25 catches a game.
Yeah. Because everything you threw to him was a catch.
Yes. Didn't matter. He's not covered. Double coverage, throw it up. He's catching passes on double coverage in the red zone in the NFL. I remember this game. Stafford's a quarterback. They have literally two guys lined up at corner on him, and Calvin Johnson is still throwing it up, and he's still catching it for a touchdown.
Yeah. I think he might be the most underrated receiver. All right, real quick, our picks. We both got OU right cover. You had Texas covering. I had UTEP win for me, loss for you. I had Tennessee winning. They did not win, but they covered. Win for me, loss for you. We both had Miami. You had Notre Dame. I had A&M to cover. I make significant headway with a 5-0 week to get back to 500, 7-2. You are mired in less than mediocrity. You are the Arch Manning's right arm of picks this year, 3-11-2. Kevin,
do I have the yips?
You might have the yips.
I have the yips when it comes to picking games?
This is bad, man. You need to do something.
This is a rough start, man. Here's the thing. I feel more confident in myself than I do one Arch Manning.
Ooh.
I'm not out. I'm not out. Yeah.
You're going to need some winning weeks, though. You do get some winning weeks.
I do.
This week was nuts, though, with some of the games. And it just, I know I've said this like 1,000 times, but it amazes me how good Vegas is at the spread. Tennessee, 3.5-point spread. I'm sorry, what was it? Yeah, 3.5-point spread.
Yeah.
Tennessee covers by a half point.
Yeah.
Miami, maybe not so much. The A&M game was very, very close. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it.
What was the spread on the Miami game? Do you remember?
I've got it here. 16.5, I thought. 17.5.
Okay. Yeah.
But they actually, Notre Dame, they had Notre Dame as a 6.5-point favorite. So
6.5. And I thought they would cover. My thing is that they would cover late. So they would cover late. It would be a very close game.
Too many mistakes.
They did, yeah. They were up. They would have been up if they had not botched that at the point. They would have been up 7 going into it. We do have to acknowledge that missed holding call in that game. On the last touchdown, the Marcel Reed last touchdown pass, they had a linebacker on the blitz. He breaks right through, and the lineman literally just tackles him. He grabs both arms around his leg and just tackles him down. And yeah.
How do they miss that when they call the most ticky-tackiest holding calls ever?
It's really weird. It's like they just swallow the whistle on the end. I get it. You do that to an extent. But that one, man, that was just too blatant to miss. Again, credit to A&M for making the play. Marcel Reed for making the throw, and that tight end, who's their blocking tight end, making the catch. But, man, they got away with one on that.
I guess you can't review that.
No, you can't. You cannot.
But there's an element of me that wishes in this day and age with review that somebody from up top could be like, okay, you missed this. You know what I mean? Like, this is big, but
yeah,
I guess
you'll probably get an acknowledgement. I don't know if it was SEC officials there or if they use the ACC crew. I'm not sure. I would imagine you get some sort of acknowledgement from that particular conference that they blew that one.
I'm pretty sure it's SEC officials.
Okay. Yeah.
It's been SEC officials on all these road games.
Yeah, we had SEC officials when we went to Ohio State.
Cowboys got to win in overtime. Feel good about that?
Yeah, I guess, man. The Cowboys to me are purely for entertainment purposes. Them winning or losing does not affect my mood at all. So I would say
you didn't even watch the game. You didn't even watch the game. You went to the State Fair today.
Okay, I was at the State Fair, but actually we were in the little auto show part, right? Which is always fun.
The auto show.
Yeah, the great show, great cars in there. Go check it out if you can. And there was a section that had a TV on, so I caught a couple of. I saw the George Pickens touchdown that they scored to give them the lead. And of course, they let them go down and tie it. So whatever. The defense doesn't look good though. I'd be concerned about that. Malik Neighbors is awesome, by the way, which we've both known for a
while. Kansas City loses. I was up in Kansas City. That town loves their Chiefs. I mean, so everywhere it's like a small college town. It just happens to be a ginormous city, that just is covered in Chiefs stuff.
Yeah.
They'll be okay though, right? They got Patrick Mahomes. They don't need to worry about being 0-2, do they?
Mahomes, but their skill position is concerning to me. Worthy got injured in the first game, so he's throwing to Tyquan Thornton a lot today. Kelsey, who's still good for his age, but he had a really bad play where they threw it to him he's coming across the field, got his head turned around a little bit late. But the throw was right on the money. He bobbles it, and former Texas safety Andrew Makuba intercepts it and takes it back 50 yards. They're about to score here. It's just a really bad play for them. So I don't know, man. Defense still looks good, but I'm not going to write off Patrick Mahomes ever. But they got some. They're 0-2, and they got to get going, man.
I didn't get to watch a lot of NFL today. I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow's matchup, though.
Which one? It's actually one of those Monday night double.
Oh, is it a double? Is it a double?
It is.
Who is it? There was one that was interesting to me when I heard it.
Well, Raiders and Chargers, which is interesting because it's Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll. And you remember
Okay.
their rivalry going back to Stanford and USC. And then
No
we've
love
got
lost there. No love
none
lost.
whatsoever. And then Buccaneers and Texans in Houston.
That's the one because it's Baker. That might have been why I said it because it's Baker.
Yeah.
I guess it's not that interesting. But
Actually,
I mean, they still have
Shepard there too, right?
Yeah, they got Sterling Shepard. Who's the quarterback for?
Oh, CJ Stroud.
I mean,
The
that's
Ohio
a
State.
great quarterback matchup, man.
It is. It's
That's
a good
great
quarterback
matchup.
Yeah.
The NFC South is just back to their old ways, though, of just not being any good.
Have they ever been away from those old ways?
When the
When's
Saints
the last
were,
time that they were good? I mean, that's a decade ago since they've been good.
maybe longer than that. And even then,
And
was
they
the
had
rest
that
of the
one game where they made was it the NFC Championship game or the divisional game, and they had that horrible missed call go against them. Remember that?
yes. Oh
Playing against
God,
the
yeah,
Rams, just the worst missed pass interference call I've ever seen.
yeah. No,
That's the last time they were good.
But even when the Saints were good, it's more like how the Buccaneers are good now. They're just the tallest. They're just the tallest midget, right? I mean, they're just
yeah.
Because like I think Baker's really good. I love Baker, of course I do, and it's fun to root for Tampa Bay. But they get the benefit of playing in the NFC South
Correct.
every year. I mean, it's great for
Carolina
him.
is not good.
Carolina's terrible. Bryce Young might be one of the most disappointing quarterbacks in the last, recent history. And I don't know if it's because he's just not good or Carolina's not good or he just doesn't look right.
All bad. It looks all bad.
Did you see him watching that? Did you see him watching the helmet game? Getting caught watching the helmet game?
I see that.
Yeah, he got caught watching the helmet game, and I think he threw an interception on the next play. And everybody's mad at him.
It just nothing about it looks good. When you watch their team, it's like they look less talented than most teams in the NFL do.
Yeah, it's weird. The NFL. I don't know. I needed to get. I kind of like I am in college football. I was locked in last night. I am fired up about this week with Auburn, Oklahoma. I mean, I am all over it, and the NFL just hasn't. I haven't caught the bug yet.
Yeah, I mean. And to be honest with you, I haven't even been able to watch a full Sunday yet. I was up in Colorado with the family last week at the State Fair this weekend. So hopefully next weekend I can kind of lock in and really give it a chance. So real quick before we go.
Yeah.
So just obviously we're going to preview the games on our next episode, but just a quick listing of some notable games. I know it's the Big 12. You hate the Big 12, but Utah and Texas Tech, I find it interesting.
That could be a good game. That could be a good game.
Where's
that game at?
It is in Utah, Salt Lake City.
Okay.
11 a.m. kickoff, too. Interesting. So, is that 9 o'clock local?
It's 10.
It's 10, so they're on Mountain Time.
That's what they did for the OU BYU game a couple years ago.
Yeah, you were there, right?
I mean, Fox, you are out of your mind. Like, why? It's so unnecessary.
Yeah. Obviously, Oklahoma and Auburn and Norman. 2:30 kickoff?
Yeah.
Okay. Surprised about that? You think it was a night game?
No, it's okay.
Okay. I don't think Auburn's really good enough at this point.
They're ranked. I guess they're ranked now, though.
They are ranked. Yeah, they're 22.
So it's going to be a ranked matchup in the SEC, but then
it is ABC though. It is on ABC.
It's big ABC, and it's SEC, and in some ways, like the games yesterday, there were so many games in the evening.
Yeah,
there wasn't really like a marquee game.
I mean, it was just Georgia Tennessee game was at 2:30, right? Whereas
and so maybe
Florida was at 9.
And if you think about it, under like the old CBS rules, you would want your game to be at 2:30 in the SEC.
Yes, correct.
That's the game you want.
There was their marquee game. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe ESPN's thinking about that a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. What's the other game that they had to choose from?
Let me go through the list. Oh, well, the night game is going to be Miami and Florida.
That's reasonable.
In Miami, yeah.
I mean, Florida's going to be unranked now, but
correct. Yeah, they are. And this game's interesting to me. Doesn't mean much on the national scale, but Nebraska and Michigan play in Lincoln. I'm just curious to continue to watch the development of Underwood. This game will be on the same time your game. Obviously, my main focus will be on watching Oklahoma Auburn. But Nebraska, Michigan, I just want to see how the kid is continuing to develop and how if he can get a win on the road this time.
Is Dylan Raiola the biggest weirdo playing quarterback right now?
He's an interesting guy for sure. I think, we talked about him. The Patrick Mahomes thing, I think, is a bit much. It's like, dude, just be yourself, man.
It's
Be yourself. You're a 5-star recruit. You don't
I
have to be like him, even if you try to take aspects of his game.
It is so weird. All right, go ahead. What else?
And also, we've got Missourians hosting South Carolina. It's to be a fun SEC game.
Well, if Sellers doesn't pass protocol, it could
Correct.
be.
It's going to be rough.
That could be
the guy they put in,
South
Luke
Carolina.
Doty. I don't know if I'm assuming he's a former quarterback, but he plays receiver for them.
They rolled the receiver over to quarterback?
No, I think he was a former quarterback, and then as a backup has moved over to receiver, but is still the backup quarterback. That's what it appears. But he's listed on their roster as a wide receiver. But I'm assuming he was a former quarterback, lost the job to Lenore Sellers, moved to receiver so he can play, but still serves as the backup quarterback.
Yeah,
at least he was the other day. And he threw 27 times, so it's not like he's the emergency guy. They had him running the Wildcat. He was 18 or 27.
They have him listed as athlete on South Carolina's website.
Okay, that explains it. Also, this game I find a little bit interesting here. Big Ten, Indiana against Illinois, 2 ranked teams. It's actually the night game on NBC. It's at Indiana. Both are undefeated, 3-0. Indiana ranked 19th, Illinois ranked number 9. When you think of the Big Ten and a big matchup, you don't think of Illinois and Indiana.
That sounds like that's the least exciting ranked matchup I can imagine putting together.
Correct.
Doesn't that just sound terrible?
It does. But actually, it'll be a good football game.
One of them will be in the playoff.
Just the names.
I think one of them will be in the playoff, maybe. But it doesn't mean it sounds better. It sounds awful.
Yeah, man. And Indiana just got destroyed by Notre Dame, man, in the playoff.
Yeah. They were the most. I don't know. Tennessee was pretty outclassed by Ohio State.
Oh, Tennessee they just looked like they just had no interest in being there.
Well, Nico clearly didn't.
The whole team though, they just wanted they were just ready to go home. Not that far from Knoxville, Ohio either, but you would have thought that game was played in Alaska.
My early thoughts on the OU game is maybe it stays close for a minute, but I think Oklahoma pulls away. We'll break it all down and why I think that, but I just don't think with at quarterback, their quarterback and our defense is just not a good combination for Auburn. I just don't see. I don't see
him in practice last year. We heard the reports. Remember the reports? He's throwing 3 interceptions in every practice last year. Now, obviously, it's a different scheme. I just don't really have a feel for what they're trying to do offensively yet. Now, I'm not saying they're like y'all's last year. I'm not saying they're that. But Hugh Freeze's offense, when I watched Auburn play so far, I watched the game against Baylor, who's a decent football team.
Yeah, it's a good win.
And then this game against, the throwing, it's always like, 18 to 25, 160 yards, and then him running the ball. So I'm not seeing anything dynamic despite them having dynamic athletes on the team. And I haven't seen anything yet. And why should I expect to see Cam Coleman go nuts for the first time against Oklahoma on the road?
Yeah.
Despite his immense talent. So that's where I'm at early. So right now, I would think OU. I don't know. Is there a line yet that you've seen?
Jeez, I don't even know.
I see 5.5 on the Oklahoman. That's what they're saying.
I got 5.5.
Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't trust anything right now about Auburn. I like their team. I like their talent, but I don't trust anything about them to say they can go on the road unless they do some things defensively that we haven't seen yet. Right. I want to see, Mateer because I didn't like Michigan's game plan defensively against him specifically.
Yeah.
They allowed him to get loose, not spying. I'm spying Mateer if I'm a DC. I'm
I
playing
just
dime and I'm spying.
I don't like the line. For whatever reason, that makes me very nervous to see a fight. Because, like, what do they know?
Now, do you
That
think the line is too small or too big?
I think it's too small.
Okay.
I would expect that line to
I
be
think
closer to 6.5.
okay.
I mean, we're at
Maybe it's
home.
just
Maybe
the
even
athletes that Auburn has. Is there
no.
respect for
They
that?
look, and it's an SEC game, and we know. I mean, look, we talked about it this week. How many games were close, and and so things can get muddled up. All right, hey, we're going to talk about Auburn. I think the line's too small. We're going to talk about Auburn. Kevin, have an excellent week. We'll talk on our preview show. See if you can get some info on the yips, and enjoy Monday Night Football tomorrow night. Boomer!
Took him.